Alex here with a legal nuts and bolts video on joint custody veto. I've just found out that in some states, Oregon being one of them, the parties have to agree for joint custody to even be on the table. As far as I know, Oregon doesn't really separate physical and legal custody rights. It appears to me that they just have this term called joint custody. If one parent doesn't like the idea, that parent, just by saying they refuse, basically prohibits the court from ordering it at all, and it forces the court to award custody of the child to one or the other parent. I don't know why there would be states out there that do something like this, but it's important for my viewers to know that this could be something in their state as well. I hope it's just something that's in Oregon and only Oregon, but if anyone out there knows for a fact that it applies to their state as well, please post it in the comments below. I only really have two things to say about it. Apparently there were cases out there where one side didn't really understand that that this was a thing. For example, I think they were questioned by the court as to, do you think you could take care of this child on your own? And the father said, no, I want to do joint custody. And the judge was something like, well, the other parent doesn't want joint custody, and they've made that clear. Of course, the judge didn't explain how the statute worked and all of that, and gave the father a few chances. And because the father wasn't willing to say, I can take care of the child on my own, he basically just ended the case right then and there and said, we have one parent that wants sole custody, we have another parent that wants to share custody. Under Oregon law, if the other parent doesn't agree, this is not a possibility for the court, and therefore, boom, mom gets sole custody. I'm not even sure that the guy got a trial. So the first thing I wanted to let people know is that that could be a possibility. The second thing I wanted to let people know is that once a parent in a state like this, like Oregon, refuses to allow the court to order joint custody, it really forces the court to pick a winner and a loser, and it's going to really push the case into that kind of dynamic. So just be ready for it. If you're in that state, you're going to have to fight for sole custody, because that's really the only option you have, with the other parent refusing to allow the court to order joint custody. In Nevada and other states, a parent can't just veto the court from awarding joint custody. A parent can't just say, no, I refuse. In fact, what the court will do if the parents do not agree is oftentimes the court will assess the situation and still order joint custody anyway. And if one of the parents is sabotaging the joint custody relationship, the court will pinpoint the parent. The court will get to the bottom of which parent is doing it, and that parent will be the one that is deprived of custody. So I think that's the right approach. I think if two parents don't want to do joint custody, the court should figure out which one of those is the one that's going to interfere in that, the one that's going to get in the way, the one that's going to cause conflict and make joint custody impossible, and deprive that parent of custody and give custody of the children to the other parent. I've talked about the case in Nevada, Mosley v. Figliuzzi, that grapples with precisely this argument and issue, and they articulate, the Supreme Court in that case articulates all of the pros and cons and all the little details as to what a judge should do when that sort of situation is encountered in their courtroom. I'm not going to repeat it all. I'm just going to post a link to the case below so people can read it. And it's a great discussion in that case. Definitely look into it. It tells the judges how to deal with high conflict parents in a way that isn't necessarily intuitive to all of the judges on the family court bench. I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I mainly wanted my viewers to know that it may be possible that they're in one of the states that makes it so that a parent can just veto joint custody, just take it off the table just by saying I refuse. And also, hopefully people in the comments below will let us know if they're in one of the other states that does this. I hope it's just Oregon, as I said earlier, but I'm not sure. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, and I'll see you guys next time.